Hi everyone, if you want to create something like this, then you are at the perfect video. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you guys how you can create these beautiful specs holders. And this tutorial is very beginner friendly, that is, I'm going to explain every step in detail. So even if you're an absolute beginner, you can easily watch the video and make one for yourself. So now let's start with the requirements. You're going to need two colors of yarn. First for the center part and the border, and the second color is for the middle rounds. For example, in my case, I'm using blue color yarn for the middle rounds and the cream color yarn for the center part and the border. Also, you'll need a 3.5mm hook along with a stitch marker. So now let's start with our process. So now to begin with the magic ring, hold your yarn thread in between the two fingers like this and wrap it around your first two fingers like this once, and do it one more time, and then place the yarn on top of the yarn to form a cross like this. Now put your thumb on the cross and turn your fingers. You can see two parallel lines. So pass your hook under the first thread and grab the second thread and pull it out like this. And once you pull it out, turn your hook 180 degree to form a loop. Now you can see there's this working yarn. So yarn over with the working yarn and pull out a loop through the loop already present on your hook. So now once you're done with this, you're going to leave everything, and you can see here's your magic ring. So there are two yarn threads. The first one is the magic ring tail, and the second one and the longer yarn is your working yarn. So yarn over with the working yarn and pull out a loop to chain 2. So now we are starting with our round 1. So for that we are going to do chain 2. So yarn over, pull out a loop, and yarn over, pull out a loop. So now for round 1, the pattern is going to be 12 double crochets into the magic ring. So for that, now we are going to do our first double crochet. So in order to do one double crochet, first of all you're going to yarn over and then pass your hook through the magic ring to pull out a loop. You can see you have 3 loops on your hook. So yarn over again, pull through the first 2 loops, and then yarn over again to pull through the rest 2 loops. This was your first double crochet. As you can see, there's a V-like structure you can see at the top. So now we are going to put in our stitch marker into the V to mark it as the first double crochet of the round. So I'm just putting the stitch marker into the first V that is facing upwards. After that, basically you're going to repeat the same process for the total 11 more times, so that we can have total 12 number of double crochets by the end of the round. So this is my second double crochet. Again, yarn over, insert your hook, pull out a loop, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, and then yarn over again to pull through the rest 2 loops. This is our third double crochet. So basically just repeat the pattern a few more times until you reach the end, where you have in total of 12 double crochets. So I'll meet you guys at the end of my round. So as you can see, I'm done with my 12 double crochets. So first of all, I'm going to pull out the thread to close the magic ring. Once my magic ring is closed, now we are going to close the round. So for that, remove your stitch marker from the very first double crochet, as you can see, and then insert your hook into the V, pull out a loop, and then do a slip stitch. So basically pull out a loop and then pull it out again through the loop already present on your hook. Now once we are done with our first round, we are starting with our second round. So now we are starting with round 2. For that, again chain 2, yarn over, pull out a loop, and then yarn over again to pull out a loop. So basically round 2 is an increase round. It means that in every stitch we are going to do 2 double crochets. So let's start with our first stitch. So yarn over, insert your hook into the very first stitch near the chain 2, yarn over, pull out a loop, and then yarn over, pull through the 2 loops. Now again do one more double crochet into the same stitch. So this was an increase stitch. So in the next stitch we are going to repeat the same process. So basically the pattern for round 2 is one increase stitch in every stitch all over the round until you reach the end of the round. So again doing one more stitch into the same stitch. So this is my second double crochet into the second stitch. So in the third stitch, I'm again going to do 2 double crochets and then basically repeat the same process all around. So I'll meet you guys at the end of my round 2. So now I'm at the end of my round 2, and then I'll slip stitch to complete the round. So now we are changing colors. For round 3 we are going to change colors. So in order to change colors, you're going to grab your second color, insert your hook through the first color, and then just basically do a chain 1 with the second color. So grab the second color, pull out a loop, and then chain 1 with your second color. So this is how you change colors. Now for round 3 we are again going to start with chain 2. So with your now you're working with your second color, so yarn over with the second color and pull out a loop, again yarn over and pull out a loop. So after chain 2, the pattern for round 3 is going to be 1 double crochet in one stitch and then 1 double crochet increase in the next stitch. So this is the pattern that we are going to follow all around. So now we are going to start with round 3. So insert your hook into the very first stitch that you can see near the stitch that is the closest to the chain 2, and yarn over, pull out a loop, then yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over to pull through the rest 2 loops. Also remember to hide your yarn tails along with your stitches. So in the next stitch we are going to do an increase stitch. So this is my first double crochet into the next stitch, and then I'm going to do one more double crochet into the same stitch. So yarn over, insert your hook into the same stitch, yarn over and pull out a loop, and then again yarn over, pull through first 2 loops, yarn over to pull through the rest. So now this is one set. Now we are going to repeat the same set all over the stitches till I reach the end of the round. So I'm going to repeat the same pattern and I'll see you guys at the end of round 3. Also later on you can cut off these yarn tails. So now I'm at the end of my round 3 and you can see there's a slip stitch. So we are going to ignore the slip stitch and just do a slip stitch into the first double crochet of round 3. So insert your hook into the first V that you can see, the V that is facing upwards, and yarn over and pull out a loop. Again pull that loop through the loop already present on your hook. So this finishes our round 3. So now we are going to start with round 4. For that again chain 2, and the pattern for round 4 is going to be 2 double crochets into 2 individual stitches followed by a double crochet increase in the next stitch. So in the first stitch we are going to do 1 double crochet, insert your hook into the stitch that is the nearest to the chains that we do, and after that in the next stitch we are going to do 1 more double crochet, followed by a double crochet increase in the next stitch. So in the next stitch we are going to do in the third stitch we are going to do 2 double crochets. So this is my first double crochet in the third stitch, followed by 1 more double crochet into the same stitch. So yarn over and insert your hook into the same stitch and pull out a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and then yarn over to pull through the last 2 loops like this. So basically this is the pattern that we are going to follow, or we can say this is the set of stitches that we are going to follow all around through the round. So 2 double crochets into 2 stitches, and then in the third stitch 1 double crochet increase. I'll show you guys again. So first double crochet in the next stitch and then 1 more double crochet in the next stitch, now followed by a double crochet increase in the third stitch. So this is my next stitch, or basically the third stitch for the pattern, and now we are going to do 1 double crochet increase in the third stitch. So 1 more double crochet into the same stitch. Now again in the next stitch I'll do 1 double crochet followed by 1 more double crochet in the next stitch, and then in the next stitch we'll do a double crochet increase. So now I'm at the end of my round, and then I'll do a slip stitch to complete the round. So we are done with round 4. Now we are going to start a round 5. So for that again chain 2, but before that I'm going to explain you the pattern for further rounds. So as you increase the rounds, we are going to increase the number of double crochet that we do before doing an increase. So like for round 5 we are going to do 3 double crochets before doing 1 double crochet increase, and in round 6 we are going to do 4 double crochets before doing 1 double crochet increase. So this is the pattern that we are going to follow all along for the further rounds. So now let's start with a round 5. So for that, again chain 2, and pattern for round 5 is 3 double crochet in 3 individual stitches and then 1 double crochet increase. So after chain 2, insert a hook into the first stitch and do a double crochet. Now we are going to do 1 double crochet in the next stitch. So here goes my second double crochet into the second stitch. After that, 1 more double crochet into the next stitch, that is in the third stitch, 1 double crochet. Now in the fourth stitch we are going to do a double crochet increase. So now in my fourth stitch I'm going to put 2 double crochets. So this is my first double crochet, and then I'm going to do 1 more double crochet into the same stitch. So yarn over and insert a hook into the same stitch and then pull out a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So this is the set or pattern for round 5. So I'm going to repeat the same process all around the round. So I'm going to repeat the same process all around the stitches. So 3 double crochets, this is my second double crochet, then this is my third double crochet in the next stitch, followed by 1 double crochet increase in every fourth stitch. So this is my fourth stitch, I'm going to do 2 double crochets into it, that is 1 increase stitch. So this is the pattern. Basically just repeat the pattern all around, and then I'll meet you guys at the end of the row. So now I'm at the end of my row. Now we are going to do slip stitch to finish off round 5. So now we are done with the round 5. Now let's start with the round 6. Again we are going to do chain 2. So the pattern for round 6 is going to be 4 double crochet and then followed by 1 double crochet increase. That means 4 double crochets into the 4 stitches, and then in the 5th stitch we are going to do an increase stitch. So this is my first double crochet, then second double crochet into the second stitch, then third double crochet into the third stitch, and fourth double crochet into the fourth stitch. Now in the 5th stitch we are going to do an increase, that is 2 double crochets. So this is the first double crochet, and then this is the second double crochet. Insert a hook into the same stitch and do 1 more double crochet. So basically this is the pattern that we are going to repeat all around. 4 double crochets followed by 1 double crochet increase. Now I'm at the end of my row and I'm going to slip stitch to finish off round 6. So insert a hook into the very first V of round 6 and then do a slip stitch. Now we are starting off with our round 7. Again for it, do chain 2. Now the pattern for round 7 is going to be 5 double crochets into the 5 stitches, and then in the 6th stitch we are going to do a double crochet increase. So here goes my first double crochet into the first stitch. Now we will do second double crochet into the second stitch. Now in the third stitch, again 1 more double crochet in the third stitch. Now in the fourth stitch there goes 1 more double crochet, and in the 5th stitch we are going to do 1 double crochet as well. Now for our 6th stitch we are going to do an increase stitch, that is 2 stitches in the 6th stitch. So this is the pattern that we are going to repeat, that is 5 double crochet in 5 individual stitches followed by a double crochet increase in every 6th stitch. So follow this pattern and repeat this pattern all over the round until you reach the end of round 7. So I'll see you guys at the end of my round. So now I am at the end of round 7. So we are going to do a slip stitch in order to complete the round. So insert your hook into the very first V that you can see and pull out a loop, and then pull it out again through the loop already present on your hook. So now we are starting with our round 8. So for round 8 the pattern is 6 double crochet and then 1 double crochet increase. So the pattern for round 8 was 6 double crochet into individual stitches and then 1 double crochet increase in the every 7th stitch. So now we are at the end of round 8 and I'm going to slip stitch to complete the round. So now this is how your work will look like at the end of round 8, and you can check your size if you want, and then if you want you can do more rounds. The further rounds will have the same pattern. That is, for next round you're going to have 7 double crochet and 1 increase. If you want you can increase the size, but for me but for me the size fits perfectly well. So now we are working with our border. So for border, first of all you're going to change the color. So insert your hook through the loop and grab your new color and pull out a loop and then chain 1. So for the border, the pattern is going to be 3 single crochets in one stitch and then slip stitch into the next stitch. This will create some ruffles all around the project. So 3 single crochets into the same stitch. So this is my second single crochet, and then there goes one more single crochet into the same stitch. Also remember to hide your yarn tail along with the stitches. And now in the next stitch we are going to do a slip stitch. So repeat the process all around. So now in the next stitch we are going to do 3 single crochets. First single crochet, one more single crochet into the same stitch, and then one more single crochet into the same stitch. Now followed by a slip stitch into the very next stitch. So just repeat the process all around. It will form a very beautiful border around the work. So now I'll meet you guys once I'm done with the border. So now I am at the end and this is how it looks like. Now we are going to do the hook part. So now for the longer hook you're going to chain 45 and then slip stitch back into the first chain. So first of all slip stitch to close the round and then chain 45. Yarn over, pull out a loop, and then yarn over, pull out a loop. And this way you're going to do 45 chains, and once you are done with your 45 chains, do a slip stitch into the very first chain where you started with your 45 chains. You can adjust the size of your straps as per your convenience. For me 45 chains fits perfectly well, so I'm going to do 45 chains and then I'll see you guys at the end. So now after chaining the desired amount of length, after chaining the desired number of chains, insert your hook back into your first slip stitch and then do a slip stitch like this. Then to secure your work, chain 1 and cut off the excess yarn. Now chain 1 and then pull out a long loop and cut off the excess yarn. Now we are going to repeat the same process exactly opposite to the longer strap, but the length of this strap will be less. The length of this strap will be small. The length of this strap will be shorter than the longer strap. So this is how. So for the smaller straps I did chain 9 and then I'll slip stitch into the first stitch to close the loop. So now slip stitch into the first stitch like this, and then chain 1 to secure the strap and then pull out a long yarn and cut off the yarn.